The name of the Sidra that we're looking at this week is Noah. The story is quite famous. Children 3, 4, and 5 years old already know about the great flood that engulfed the world and saved only Noah and his family and all of the animals of the earth to replenish that which was washed away. At the conclusion of the story of Noah, we find a very terse tale about the people of the world gathering together and building a tower to storm heaven. The story is the Tower of Babel. And there's one particular aspect that I'd like to make mention of in preparation of Shabbat. One of them, and perhaps the most important one, is at the beginning of the story we find that they're speaking Devarim Achadim, which is translated in various ways but remains opaque, mysterious. Devarim, of course, means words, and Achadim means ones. They were speaking in ones. Does it mean that the people of Tower of Babel time were speaking in monosyllabic terms? Were they speaking staccato language? One of the interpretations by a great sage is that they were speaking the language of God. They were speaking Hebrew. On which does he get this information? From where does he get it? From the word Echad. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. They were speaking of godliness, of the oneness of the universe. How could that be wrong? They were speaking Hebrew, in other words, that holy tongue. And then they gather together speaking this holy tongue, and they use this as a mechanism to storm heaven, to defeat God, and in essence, to become more powerful than God. What a terrible way for the Torah to proceed. We start out with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, who can barely speak any words at all together. In fact, there are some people who say they never said a word to each other. They spoke to God or through God in order to reach the ears of the other. Cain and Abel's time, they don't speak either. Words are spoken, but not to brother, from brother to brother. They're just spoken. And then Cain rose up and he slew his brother. So, what is the place of language in the Bible? Even in Noah's time, there's a hidden message in the boat that Noah constructs. It's called not an ark, not a boat, but it's called a teva. And again, the rabbis come to our rescue by filling in the blanks and telling us the word teva also means word. What was Noah doing? He was fulfilling the word of God by building an ark on which all the animals could come. A word again. We have this idea of language that just underlies all of the text from Genesis through Noah. Words that are spoken, words that are misunderstood, words that are misinterpreted, words that are never spoken and simply thought. So maybe the real lesson that emerges out of all of these stories, but especially in the Tower of Babel, is that we need to listen to each other. We need to talk with each other. We need to listen actively with one another to the meaning behind the words. And understand that every human being is a unique creation of God and has something important to contribute and to say. And our task is to listen very carefully. And perhaps that's why the lesson of Babel is that 70 variant languages come out of the destruction, so that people would have to struggle to communicate and then struggle to listen. And maybe the world is a better place when we try to actively listen to one each other rather than make up our own minds about what we think people are saying or what they mean. Shabbat Shalom.